sorrow. You can't see up when looking down. A brighter day tomorrow will bring. Oh, you hear the voice of reason telling you this can never be done. No matter how hard reality seems, just hold on to your dreams. Don't give up, don't give in. Although it seems you never win, you will always pass the test as long as you keep your head to the sky. You can win, as long as you keep your head to the sky. You can win, as long as you keep your head to the sky. Be optimistic. Be optimistic. Be optimistic. Oh, be optimistic. Be optimistic. Be optimistic. You can win, yes you can, as long as you keep your head to the sky. Oh Lord, you can win, as long as you keep your head to the sky. As long as you keep your head, keep your head to the sky. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm so glad to see you guys here, and I'm so happy to have all our attendants here. Today is going to be a great day for any of you guys who have never been to one of our Zoom events on mental health. We have some great information from our great speakers. Dr. Iris Freeman going to be here this morning. Denise Banks going to be here with Mind Reset. Shonda Malone is going to be here this morning. Shonda Malone Johnson will be here this morning telling you how your health is your wealth. And our financial literacy guy, Mr. Bill Freeman, and also how to build a great business, a successful business. Michael Stewart Barnes is going to be here, and Ms. Lavinia Durham is going to give you guys some great interaction questions where you can where you can win some awesome gifts. So I'm so thankful and so blessed to have you guys here. So we're just going to have an awesome time.
We want to thank everyone for participating, giving up your Saturdays for these couple of hours to benefit our children. And we want to thank everyone who has their virtual presence with us today. The reason why we're doing this here is because our kids are facing a lot of challenges today, and our theme is for them to stay optimistic. So that's what the song that you just heard a few minutes ago. So what we do is we do a virtual and in-person class where we have a specialty in innovative literature. And so we give our kids a freedom of expression, and we find out there's a joy when they complete something together. So we're currently expanding what we're doing to our communities and different venues. And so our approach is to make sure that our kids learn entrepreneurship. We talk about mental health and individual expression, and we also want them to fulfill their dreams. So, so we're going to get right into our program this morning. But before we do that, we're going to have give prizes in between each speaker. But I think what we want to do also, I want to give each speaker a prize because we want our kids to listen attentively. A lot of times when kids do Zoom calls, what they do is the speaker gets on, they mute it, watch TV and come back in. But if you pay attention, that speaker is going to give you a question at the end of their lesson. And if you can answer that, then we're going to reward you with a prize.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so our first guest of the morning is going to be Dr. Iris Freeman. And Dr. Iris Freeman, she serves as a passionate, committed leader with more than 20 years of higher education experience, encompassing various roles devoted to young people and community success, leadership, mental wellness, and diversity. Dr. Freeman is a life strategist and a professional mentor, helping people live life on purpose with purpose. With an extensive background in leadership, strategic planning, advancement and development, and workforce development, her experience spans across higher education as well. And as a community leader, she authentically uses a lens of equity to design, deliver, and evaluate all aspects of institutional structure to fulfill its mission externally and internally. Iris is a native Missourian, born in Kansas City, and she now resides in DeSoto, Texas, with her husband and financial service business partner, William. They enjoy movies, family adventures, traveling, and spending time with their wonderful son and daughter, Will and Dara. So let's welcome Dr. Iris Freeman.
All right, good morning. I am excited for us to have a conversation this morning, and I hope you are too, on mental health. So I am going to share my screen, and you guys give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen okay. All right. And with this presentation, I want it to be interactive. So on your screen, you can put a thumbs up. You can use your fingers for 1, 2, 3, and 4, because there's going to be a couple of questions. Or you can put it in the chat, and that'll be fun too, to watch the chat. So today I really want to focus on being authentic and be well. And a lot of times we have to be reminded of that. And it makes me think of Ms. Barnes and Mr. Barnes' theme for today is the power of re. So I want to remind you guys, and I want to reiterate some things about our mental health this morning. So we're going to jump right into it. And I have a question for you. So put it in the chat, hold up your fingers. But quick first question is, good health is not only to involve not having a disease or being sick, but it also involves some of the answers here on the screen. Is it 1, being able to exercise? Is that what good health is? Is it not having to go to the doctor very often? Is it a complete physical, mental, and social well-being? Or is it being skinny and sexy? Which one is the answer to having good health?
Number 3.
The number 3, all right. And if you said number 3, you are absolutely right. And I want you to pay attention to the second word in that list. To be completely healthy is not just your physical health, it's not that alone. Your mental health is a part of that, along with your social well-being. So truly being healthy is for you to make sure that you remember your mental wellness and you take care of that. But a big question is, what is mental health? So quick question for you. Is it our emotional, psychological, and social well-being? Is it being smart? Is it being having brain power? Or is it being mentally strong?
Number 1.
Number 1 is right. Good answer. Mental health is really about our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. And if you think about it, that impacts how you feel, how you think, even how you act a lot of times. But I want to give you a little bit more detail about what mental health is. And so I'm going to share a real quick video with you.
Mental health. What is it?
Sorry about that. Mental
Mental health is our ability to respond to the challenges that life throws at us. We can have all sorts of mental struggles about money, work, relationships, family, health, or just life in general. Good mental health is our ability to function, to bounce back from these struggles, and to be able to move forward. Being able to deal with the worries of everyday life helps us build resilience, which is another way of saying good mental health. Resilience can help us when our problems seem overwhelming. Without it, our mental health could spiral out of control, changing the way we feel, think, and behave. It could mean being worried or afraid all of the time, feeling numb or like nothing matters, or losing touch with what is real. When this happens, it can take some time to get back on track. At these times, it's important to reach out for help, whether it's through friends, family, or mental health professionals. Mental health. What is it?
So based on the video we just saw about our mental health, to be healthy, you have to care about your social health, you have to care about your mental health, and your medical health. But what's the answer to that, or is it all the above?
All of the above.
It's all the above, that's right. We have to care about the whole package. So fully being healthy is not just being healthy in one area, it's all of those areas. And we know that in our physical health, and we can tell sometimes in our social experiences. But why don't we often know that in our mental health space? It's because we haven't been culturally, socially told that it's okay. And we have to have more people advocate for our mental health, and we have to raise awareness. We have to stand up, speak out, and make it okay for ourselves and for everybody else, so that we will go get the help that we need and build the resilience that we need to be mentally well, so that we have overall good health. So if it's okay to say you have asthma, do you know people who have asthma? You can raise your hand on screen or whatever. You know, somebody who might have diabetes, someone who has high blood pressure, and people talk about that. Oh, I was injured in a car accident. But people don't often say, I've suffered from depression, anxiety. My parents experienced bipolar disorder, or I have a friend who's schizophrenic. So this is today's point, is for us to build resilience, is to talk about those things the same way that we talk about our physical health, because there's only one good health, and mental wellness is involved in that. So I have a question for you again, or a statement. All adults get sick or ill at some time. Is that true or false?
True.
True. So true. Next statement. In the US, do you think adults get sick on an average of 3 times per year? True or false?
True.
True. So the CDC says that on average, even if it's just a simple common cold, all adults, young adults, people in general get sick 3 times a year. So if we can get sick 3 times a year on something really simple or major, what does that, if we're talking about health in general and mental health is involved in that, that means maybe there could be some mental illness for everybody a little bit here and there. So does anybody ever have a bad day? Raise your hand. Have a bad day, everybody has a bad day. But when you have a bad day, do you see any of the words that you might use for your bad day? Is it number 1? Do you say it was fun? Do you say 2? It was bad, depressing, overwhelming, kind of crazy, I'm over it. Or 3, you loved, you liked it, super, it was cool. Or 4, it was joyful, happy, excellent. Which one?
Number 2.
Number 2, usually people use these words to describe when they've had a bad day. So if anybody can have a bad day, which is probably kind of like the sniffles, anybody can have that, then would we say, true or false, mental illness is real for anybody?
True.
True. That's so true. Anybody can feel like, I'm just a mess today. Or a couple of days, man, I can't get over these 3 bad days in a row. So based on the question I gave you before, what percentage of adults or young adults, young people probably deal with mental illness at some time or another? 3%, 100%, 12%, 0%. What do you think? If
3%.
everybody can get sick, it's probably 100%. If everybody can have a bad day, 100% of people probably deal with mental illness. And that's the way we've got to start thinking about it. Just like we do when we feel sick. We talk to friends, we tell our family, we tell our mom, our dad, I'm not feeling too good. My back is hurting. I hurt my toe. And you want to go see the doctor if it's worse, or some other professional or specialist. That's the same thing about mental health and mental illness. Even if it's on the spectrum or the end of the line where it's kind of feeling like a common cold, everybody gets this, everybody has a bad day, to something more severe, we've got to take care of it because we want to have a full and complete good health, which is inclusive of mental wellness. So what percentage of young adults say they experience mental illness? This one's a little harder. Do we think it's 10%, 75%, 51%, or 100%? I mean, excuse me, 3%. Now, we said in our previous slide that 100% of people probably are affected by mental illness, but do we think 100% of people say they do? And they really don't. About half of us say that we struggle with mental illness. And it's because we haven't been given permission socially that it's okay to say, and we haven't been advocating and bringing awareness and letting people know that every day, just the way someone has a cold, or they broke their leg, or they have asthma, people are experiencing mental challenges, and it's okay. Now, I'm not going to read this slide to you because it's a lot of information there, but these are some of the common mental health symptoms that young people across the country, including Black and Hispanic people, young people across the country. Little energy. Does that always seem like it might be a symptom of mental illness or mental challenges? Trouble with sleep, not thinking things that used to be fun are still fun, no appetite, or eating way too much. These are kind of things that actually can trigger you to start saying, I wonder if something's going on. Am I stressed? Am I anxious? Am I feeling a lot of pressure? Am I sad? Have I gotten over that breakup? Whatever it may be, it's a part of your mental health. And you don't have to do that alone. You can definitely seek help and support. So the things I want to highlight in our conversation is awareness. Awareness that anyone can experience mental illness. Most people do. Resilience is what we need, and advocacy, so that people understand that it's okay to say it, that they're going to have support. Somebody's going to walk along with them as they build their resilience and get stronger. It's the same as somebody, if you know somebody's had surgery. At first, they're flat on their back, can't move, but somebody helps them up and takes them to the bathroom. Someone helps them put on their clothes. And then eventually they build back up and they can do it on their own. Why is that? Because it's okay to say, I just had surgery and I need help. But guess what? We want to feel the same way about our mental wellness and other people's, so that we all get help, because there is help out there, just like there's medical help. And we know that we can go to Walgreens and buy Tylenol, and that's going to help the headache. We know that we can go to our supports and there's help, and that's going to help how we're feeling and how we're experiencing life. And we do that authentically, because guess what? We said everybody experiences it. It's a part of who we are. It's a part of this life, and it's a part of us being well and living well. So what I want to share with you on this last point is that 57% of people say that they experience mental health. That's the ones who are willing to say it. So we got to increase that number. And then they say they don't get help though. So they say they have a challenge. And that's just like somebody saying that they know that they have a broken leg, but they don't get it taken care of. So with the theme today is the power of re. So I want to help you to remember that each of us, each of you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and you're unique, and only you can live and be well in your authentic self. Protect your greatness. It's worth protecting. And part of that is taking care of yourself and getting the help that you so deserve and using the resources that are available to you. You can go to friends, you can go to family counselors, you can go to your doctor just like you do normally. But here are some supports that I wanted to share. You can take a picture of the screen or what have you. If you don't have those resources or you don't feel comfortable using the resources that I just named, here are some other avenues that you can take advantage of to just taking that first step and remembering that you got to protect your greatness, get out there, get the help, get the support, and build your resilience. That's all I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed the conversation. Go be well.
Well, that was awesome information. We want to thank you, Dr. Freeman, for that. We want to thank you guys for participating. I was looking for you to.
So in our chat, we saw a response, and it was
What was the response to?
answers. Destiny. And so since she participated while Ms. Iris was giving her presentation, we have a prize for her.
It's just for participation.
Okay.
We're gonna give
So-
you the smart
She mean Destiny was participating.
smart church charging station. We're gonna give you this for just participating in this event. But we got more prizes that we're gonna be giving away for something else.
Okay, next we have Ms. Lavinia. She's gonna come up, she's gonna give us some words of thought, and she's going to give you a little history, and she's gonna present a question, and that question is gonna receive a prize. So y'all listen to Ms. Lavinia.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Power of Read. I've been participating with this since the beginning, and I'm excited to do it again each year. My first question has to do with my mask. I practice a dance form that is from Egypt, and we use veils. The other props that we could use are swords. We also can use the long veils that you see people roam around like this. We also use zeals, which is one of my favorite. So if you can answer in the chat, the questions that I'm going to give you are please answer in the chat so we don't have a lot of people trying to say them. So what type of dance do I practice from the continent of Egypt? It is from a country, excuse me, I'm sorry, I gave you the answer. It's from the African country, Egypt. I meant the continent of Africa. So I do practice belly dancing. So since I gave you that first one, let me give you a second one. This is also Women's History Month. So I have a woman that I'm going to highlight. And the first person who can give us the answer to that question in the chat may win a prize. So the first woman of color that I'm highlighting led the change in the Georgia politics by inspiring people to vote. And that was recently, within the last couple of years. So who am I speaking of? From the great state of Georgia. Let me go to chat and see.
Name to read.
I'm
I know
sorry?
you got the fat lip, a cheek.
I'm sorry? So does anybody know? Belly dancing definitely is it. So who is the woman I spoke of from Georgia? Yes, Destiny again, Stacey Abrams. Yes, she is our woman of color of this time. So are we going to then lead to our next speaker? Yes. So I don't know, Carol, would you like to
Yes,
introduce?
I'm sorry, I was
Or-
muted. Yes, we're gonna go into
Okay.
our next speaker.
Yes.
But let me tell you guys about Lavinia. I forgot to do her bio. So
Okay.
Lavinia was born in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and she's raised in Daytona, Ohio. Lavinia
Dayton.
has been a Dallas resident for 40 years, where she met and married her late husband, Michael Durham, with whom she raised 3 children. A retired speech therapist, she has a long history of working with youth. A graduate of Bowling Green State University. Her service being a proud Delta Sigma Theta sorority. She was a longtime volunteer of the Girl Scouts in various churches, schools, communities. She and I, together with the Power Read, is creators of a youth interactive conversation via Zoom. The retreat focused on good mental health habits and practice, with invited guests discussing various lifestyle choices. Presentation included through provoking games, including brain teasers, logic, and art in various forms. Participants have found the previous retreats to be fun and challenging at the same time. In her spare time, Ms. Durham enjoys spending time with her family, gardening, cooking, and attending her weekly belly dancing classes. So,
Yes.
Destiny, since you won that the interactive with Miss Lavinia, this is your $10 Chick-fil-A card. So I'm gonna be putting it down, your name on it to make sure you get it. Thank you.
I have one more. I have one more interaction. I'm sorry. If we have those brain teachers, let's try to do one. Number 1, if we could. Are we able to share that? The first brain teaser. Number 1. Yeah. Okay. You know brain teasers. I just love them. So this one is very relevant to our heritage. So as you look at the words within that square, you want to account for how many words there are, what order they're in, what size they are, and try to read out, look outside the box and figure out what those 3 words are, what phrase that represents. So these are fascinating. You really have to think outside the box.
You're gonna have to come back.
We want to come back to that. That's your
Yeah,
first one. In our next,
yeah, they can give us the
we
answer
will
while they
give
figure
the
it
answer.
out.
There we
Okay.
go. Thank you.
Thank you. So moving to our next speaker. Our next speaker is going to be Ms. Denise Banks, and she's going to be speaking on mindset. Denise is a managing partner and CEO at the Gladiator Professional Development Coaching, a firm which provides professional and self-development training, customer service, leadership, networking skills, business relationship, training workshops, and coaching programs for corporate professionals and organizations. Denise clients includes 500 Inc. companies in 5 states. The firm also offers a personal networking connoisseur, as well as attending networking events on behalf of clients to represent their brand. She's the founder of Women Building Wealth Globally, an organization whose mission is to empower women to holistic achieve wealth on all levels, relationship training workshops and coaching programs for corporate professionals and organizations. Let's welcome Ms. Denise Banks.
Hello,
Welcome,
how are
Denise.
you? Thank you for having me, Kara. How are you? How's everybody? Hope you guys are having a blessed day so far. Kara, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. I couldn't get my slides, so I won't be using slides, but I do want this to be interactive. I am really thankful, grateful, and gratitude for just being able to share this space with you phenomenal people this morning. And you're just speaking of the power of I think there's so much power in just RE. You have the ability to restart, to reprogram, to redo, to reclaim, to redefine. So there's so much power in those words, So I want you to, I'm also going to utilize the chat. So what is one of your favorite things that you can what would you put after that word? Something that you think is really powerful, and even out of those words, is it to restart? Is it to redefine? What I'm going to be talking about today is one of the things that I feel like is so very important in every area in our lives, and that is a mindset. So the power of with mindset is a mindset reset. So that's what I'm going to spend this time with you today. We're going to talk about having a mindset reset, because your biggest flex is an elevated mindset. I'm going to say that again. Your biggest flex is having an elevated mindset. Put that in the chat. What's your biggest flex? Put that in the chat. I'm not going to say it again. So what we want to talk about is, I want to share with you six habits of highly effective youths with that mindset reset attitude. Some of the traits, some of the habits of having that that mindset reset. So I'm going to talk to you about those 6 habits. An elevated mindset, guys, is all about elevating yourself to the next level. See, I believe that mindset is everything, and everything is mindset. So mindset is what? Everything, and everything is, put that in the chat, everything is mindset. So when you think about an elevation, you think about a climb, an increase. You're going higher. You're going from where you were to where you desire to be. So when you have that mindset reset, that means that you have changed the way you see things. You've shifted your paradigm. And that's the way you see things. See, the way you see things are so very important to your reality. And being a young person, I don't know how many youths are on the phone, but I believe I can also have a conversation even with us adults. But for you youths on the mindset is so important in your area of life right now. There's so many things, and there's so many challenging things that come up in your life as a youth, whether it be at home, at school, you know, in your social life. Everything has shifted, you know, since this pandemic. So it has become pretty challenging sometimes for the youth to have this big positive mindset. You know, you had heard the doctor talk about anxiety. I see a lot of youth where their anxiety is up, depression is up, suicide is up. So having that positive mindset, having that redefined mindset, having that reset is so important, so that you don't stay where you are if you're, you know, if you're in that space, in that mindset. So I believe, to me, that when you have an elevated mindset, is really truly all about becoming the truest and the most authentic expression of yourself, of who you are. And see, once you understand who you are and the very essence of your being, I believe that you absolutely can shift your mindset from one point to another, even from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. You do have the ability to shift your mindset, and you can start to call into existence whatever it is that you desire, whatever your goals are, whatever it is that you want to do. Once you shift that mindset and understand who you really are, then you start to manifest those things. If you want better grades, if you want to be able to, be that best version of yourself, you can do it no matter where you are right now in life, in school, with your grades, with your peers, if it's your teachers, if it's for adults, co-workers, if it's something at work, whatever it is, believe that you have the ability to change it. But it's all about right here. It starts with the mindset. It starts with reshifting, redesigning, reclaiming who you are. And there are some steps to doing that. So I'm going to talk to you quickly about these 6 habits of having that elevated mindset. Once you reset, the 6 habits of having that elevated mindset. And again, when you start to develop those habits, because you have to practice those habits until they become just it just becomes something that in your mind subliminal you do every single day, but it all comes with practice. So let's talk about the habit number one. First of all, you have to have clarity. So whatever it is that you desire to do, if you think about while I'm speaking right now, just think about one goal. Think about this one thing that you would like to have, this one thing that you would like to change or achieve. Think about one goal. And that first habit to achieving anything first starts with clarity. So you have to have clarity before you can understand anything. You can't just say, I want to go, I have a goal and I want to do this. You have to have clarity because you have to understand exactly what it is that you want to do, because your mental clarity is clarity is a state. Is the state of how your perception becomes your reality based on how you see things. And when you understand clarity and when you have a crystal formulated picture of exactly what you want to do, then you can understand how to achieve it, because that clarity allows you to come into alignment with what you desire. Clarity allows you to come into alignment with what you want to manifest. So you have to have a clear and concise picture of exactly what it is that you want. And you have to have a vision. See, I don't mean the type of vision that's so short term that you can only see it as far as your eye would see. I'm talking about the type of vision that the eye cannot see. The vision is that is so far ahead of you that you have to depend on your faith to achieve it. So if your goal, if your goal is to become the best athlete, if your goal is to elevate where you are as an athlete, then understand clearly what it's going to take, for you to get there. You have to understand that you have to have that vision to get you where you want to go, because that's what's going to allow you. It sets the foundation, understanding your purpose, your plan, your responsibility. And that mental clarity is so important. Otherwise, if you don't have it, you're going to you'll retract, you'll back up, you won't stay focused. So clarity is very, very important. The second thing that you have to have is an attitude of gratitude, because gratitude, believe it or not, it is the best attitude. Your attitude affects everything that you do. So choose to be grateful, choose to be happy, choose to start your day every single day with a positive mindset. Because when you wake up in the morning, the first thing that you feed your mind, the first 20 minutes in a day, actually it's probably the first 5 minutes of the day, it will set the spirit of your day. If you notice, just think about this, if you wake up in the morning, if you wake up sometimes happy, and a lot of people wake up on Fridays really happy and excited. On Mondays, some people wake up in a totally different mindset. But if you notice that when you wake up with a good attitude, does it not seem like all through the day everything goes good, regardless of what happens, regardless of what you're faced, you look at it differently, you handle it differently. It could be the same situation, but if your attitude is not good, you're going to see it and receive it negatively. If you're in a good positive mood, you will receive it in a more positively, or you'll be more proactive than reactive toward any situation, all depending on your mindset, all depending on how you set the spirit of your day every single day. So if you don't do this now, try practicing affirmations every morning. I'm telling you, it does miracles for your attitude. I try and tell my granddaughter every morning when she gets up for school, she likes to put her, listen to her rap music and all of this stuff. And I always try and tell her, write down at least 3 affirmations every morning when you wake up. Tell me 3 things that you want to happen throughout your day that are positive. So you start your day with those positive things. And it works for her when she applies it. And this is how important that mindset is and that attitude, because when she wakes up with a positive attitude and she starts her day that way, it seems to go that way. If she wakes up with a negative attitude, or the first person that she talks to at school is somebody that's negative, somebody wants to skip classes, or somebody wants to sleep through class and not pay attention, when she surrounds herself in that environment, that becomes her attitude as well. So we practice positive mindset in the house. My granddaughter she's an author with Miss Carol. She wrote her book. It's called America's Gratitude Journal. And her school last year, they purchased 200 of her books. She was all about the positive mindset. She started high school this year. And so she started to shift. And this is why it's so important for kids to try and stay in a positive environment, because she got now into a negative environment, which has now become her type of attitude. So her behavior changes. Her behavior has changed where she's now doing some of the things that her friends are doing. So when you have a positive attitude, when you have a positive mindset and you're in a positive environment, that helps you to continue to be positive, helps you to continue to have a positive mindset. And when you have a positive mindset and you have a attitude of gratitude, there's some benefits that also come along with that. Like, for instance, having the benefits of the gratitude, you have better sleep. There's better physical and mental health. You have greater willpower. You have better relationships. You have improved self-care. See, when you feel good about yourself, you take care of yourself, and self-care becomes a priority for you. So you may get up in the morning and say a prayer. You may get up in the morning and exercise, but it's always putting out positivity opposed to allow negativity come in. You don't have an attitude of gratitude. It shifts your mindset. It shifts your vibration. And the higher your vibration, the more positive your mindset is. So it's so important for us to practice great habits, practice having that attitude of gratitude. And then the next habit is self-discipline. You have to be self-disciplined. When you're talking about a mindset reset, guys, mindset has everything to do with self-discipline. So if it's something that you want to achieve, the first thing that you have to do is be willing to be, you got to be self-disciplined. You have to be consistent, committed, persistent, focused. I know a lot of us on the Zoom have heard Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee said a successful warrior was just an ordinary person with a focused mindset. Focus is following one course until successful. So you get laser focused on what you want to do, and you cut out all the noise, you clear out all the clutter, mental clutter, if it's clutter in the house, because if everything is cluttered, you cannot see clearly what you want to do. So if we want things to change, we have to change some of the old habits to replace those things with new habits. In other words, you have to be willing to die to who you are in order to birth the person that you want to be. So it's getting rid of all those old habits by practicing these daily habits of being consistent, committed, persistent, and focused. And then the next habit, I got two more. The next habit is a growth mindset. See, there's such a thing that's called a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Put that in the chat. Fixed mindset and growth mindset. You have to decide which you want to be. Do you want to continue to have a fixed mindset, or do you want to have a growth mindset? See, a person with a fixed mindset says this is the only way it can be. They don't see possibilities for change. They see only right now. There's no way, there's this way or no way. And they can't see things from a positive perspective because they have a fixed mindset. Well, a person with a growth mindset, they see no limit. A fixed mindset, there's limit. They can only go as far as they can see. They can only see as far as the vision because they're seeing it by eyes, by sight, and not vision. So a person with a growth mindset is totally opposite. They see no limitations. They're willing to change those old habits so that they can have those new habits. They have a positive mindset. They practice gratitude, and they set daily intentions. A person with a growth mindset, they fill themselves up every single day. So you have to fill yourself up. You have to fill yourself up with something that serves your spirit. Otherwise, you're going to run out. You can be a youth or an adult. If you don't fill your cup up, then you're going to run out and you can't give from overflow because you don't have enough to give. That's why sometimes we feel so drained because we don't have enough to go around to everybody. So you've got to fill your cup up. You got to take care of you first. You ever notice when you take a flight and they come on and they give you the instructions? What is the first thing they do? They say, put your mask on, they tell you to put your deal on first and then the other person, because you have to you have to take care of you before you can take care of anybody else. And that's part of having that growth mindset. And the last thing is your belief system and eliminating limiting beliefs. Whatever the mind of a man can believe and conceive, it can achieve. Remember that if you believe you can do it, you can do it. I don't care if you're a student and you're failing right now. If you believe that you can raise a failing grade to a passing grade, you can do it. You're the only person. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. Either way, you're absolutely right. But when you have a mindset reset, failing is not an option. You believe in yourself, you believe in your dreams, and you have unwavering faith in your ability. You raise your conscious awareness and believe that you deserve it. It doesn't matter. All you have to do is believe it. You will manifest everything that you need. You attract what you think about, you bring about. Thoughts become things. So however you think, that's what you're going to bring into your existence. If you keep thinking, I'm not good enough, if you keep thinking, I can't do it, if you keep thinking, I don't have enough, you're going to always see those things continue to show up in your life. But if you start saying to yourself, I can do this, I'm worth it, I'm greater. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. If you start speaking these things, even if you don't believe it, start speaking it. Say it every day. And what you start to see a shift. You'll start to see some people going to exit your life and other ones will come into your life. You'll start to see that those that only come to withdraw from you will now, they're not going to be in your life anymore. People will start to deposit things into your life that you need, and you'll start to see the shift in your entire environment. But everything starts with belief. Muhammad Ali always said, I was the greatest. I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. Even before he was the greatest, he always believed it. He started out telling himself, I am the greatest. I am the greatest. I'm a champion. I'm a champion. And you have got to be your biggest champion. When you start to think like that, trust me, that mindset reset, that's what you're doing. You're resetting the old things and you're replacing those things with new things, new thoughts, new behaviors, new habits. Everything old goes away and you start filling yourself up with all these new things. You start telling yourself, I can get good grades. I can go to the college I want. I can be an entrepreneur. I can be a kid entrepreneur and I can be successful. I can sell my book. I can sell my lip gloss, my lipsticks. I can be an author. I can be a speaker. Whatever it is that you want, don't worry about where you are now. You have to start working on this. You have to start speaking those things. And I'm telling you, when you do that, you start to eliminate those negative beliefs that's been holding you captured. You start to transform your mindset. And that's what this is all about. You have a transformed mindset. I'm gonna leave you with one of my favorite quotes. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 27 times I was trusted to take the winning shot and I missed. I have failed over and over and over. And that is why I succeed. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan did not start out to be the greatest. He was cut from his basketball team. But you know what he did? He had a mindset reset. He shifted the way he was thinking. He would be the first one to show up, the last one to go home. He would practice every single day from dark 30 in the morning to dark 30 at night. That was a commitment. He was committed. He was persistent. He was disciplined. He was focused. And when you have that kind of mindset, You can do nothing but win, but you got to believe that you're a champion. You got to believe that you have the power to manifest those things which you desire to have, because I believe that you can do it. I believe that each and every person on this Zoom, whatever goal you may have, be it small or large, you have the ability to make it happen, because there is so much power in there is so much power in redefining the way you think. There is so much power in taking control and saying, this is not how the story will end, because you have the power to change the narrative and change the way your story will end. So with that, thank you for having me. And hey, everything is all about mindset. Put that in the chat 3 times. Mindset, 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 then reset. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you. Thank you, Denise. Now, she said, think about it. If you think about it, you're going to bring about it. So we have to change our mindset. We have to transform our mind in things we do. So now we're going to bring on Ms. Lavinia to do our next giveaway.
Okay, so if we can have number 1 brought back up again. Does anybody have a clue to what those 3 words are referring to? You may put it in the chat. That's the
Your daughter
great
got
thing.
history repeats itself.
Okay, I didn't see the chat. History does repeat itself, and that's exactly what it means. And that's why it's so important that our kids know their history. So history does not repeat itself.
So,
Yes.
okay, Lavinia, let me ask. Yadira, since you won this gift, are you going to keep a gift or are you going to give it away?
I'm giving it away.
Okay, so the next person who wins gets the gift.
All right. I could do another woman in history if we like. All right. All the women are women of color. And so our next woman I'm going to highlight was a great actress who starred in many films, including Founder and Miss Jane Pittman, and it goes on and on. So who is our women that we are, let me see. Did I see it? I can't see this. Yes, Cicely Tyson.
Who was that?
Shawanda Barnes.
Shawanda?
Shawanda Barnes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, correctly.
Shawanda?
Yes, sister.
Okay, you gonna keep your gift or you want me to?
Do we want to keep our gift or do we want to give it away?
Okay, I can't hear you.
Hold on, talking to your niece. She's not telling me what it is. Do we want to keep it?
Oh,
Do we want to give
you
it away?
want a pulse wireless speaker, I'm sorry.
Or we want to speak or want to speaker?
A wireless speaker.
Your niece said to keep it.
Okay, thank you, I got your name on it.
Okay.
Okay, so Lavinia. We
Yes, ma'am.
will, okay, so we got that one. So we're gonna move on to the next guest and then you get the next one.
All right, then.
Okay, now moving on. Our next guest is gonna be Shonda Malone Johnson. And Shonda is gonna be talking about your health is your greatest wealth. Shonda is a certified in nonprofit management. She oversees all strategic and operational responsibilities for the 2-Day Kids nonprofit staff, programs, expansions, and execution of its mission. She ensures ongoing programmatic excellence, rigorous program evaluation, and consistent quality of finance and administration, fundraising, communications, and systems, recommending timelines and resources to achieve the strategic goals. Her hobbies are sewing, crafts, teaching life skills, and helping people reach their health wellness goals. Let's welcome Ms. Shonda Malone Johnson.
Ms. Shonda, you're muted.
Thank you. Hello. I have heard some awesome speakers this morning. Just awesome. Spoke about foundations and having a strong foundation, spoke about mental health and wellness. And I'm here to talk to you about health and wellness. So let's get started. Nutrition and healthy kids is what we're all about. Not just with kids, but we're also about adults as well that need to know how to take care of themselves, take care of their bodies. Exercise daily is very important. Adequate rest. Eat a variety of healthy foods. Control your meal portions. Use seat belts, helmets, and other protective equipment that's needed when you're out playing around. The great thing about exercise is that it can and should be fun. There is no best exercise so you can just do what you love to do. The only bad exercise is something that's dangerous, like riding a bike or a scooter without a helmet, swimming without an adult watching you, or horsing around with friends at the top of a really high place structure where one or both of you could fall and get hurt. Other than doing something unsafe, all exercise is great for you. Another great thing about exercise is that you can do it pretty much anywhere. You can do it right now, where you're sitting, where you're standing. And yet another great thing about it is that you do a little bit every day. You want to aim for just an hour a day. You'll feel healthy and strong, you'll sleep better, and you'll even do better in school. Let's talk about adequate rest. What are the 3 reasons why sleep is so important? Sleep is vital, often neglected component of every person's overall health and well-being. Sleep is important because it enables the body to repair and be fit and ready for another day. And if you are not getting enough rest, when you wake up in the morning to go to school, you're sleeping at your desk. And that's not good because you're not getting the education that you need, you're not listening well, and you're just not doing well at all, grade-wise as well. So getting adequate rest may also help prevent excessive weight gain, heart disease, and increased illness duration. Very important to get your rest. Not all the time we do that though. A strong foundation for tomorrow is very important. This is something that we've been talking about already this morning. Strong foundation gets you on your way. Let's talk about some of the sleep. Next screen. So we say, well, how much sleep do we need? Sleep takes almost half of your day, believe it or not, though. The nearly half of the day you're sleeping is just as important as the other half of the day when you're awake. Good sleep helps you. And you should know that because when you stay up all night watching your movies, playing your video games, and then you have to get up, what happens? So you need to know how much sleep you are required to get. School age, if 6 to 12 years old, you need 9 to 12 hours of sleep, believe it or not. We don't get it. I don't get it. Teens, 13 to 18 years, 8 to 10 hours of sleep. I don't get that either. Maybe you don't get it either. Adults, 18 to 60 years, 7+ hours of sleep a day. Can you imagine? I've missed work if I slept that long. I mean, that's the way I'm thinking, but you need your sleep. Now with your healthy eating. Healthy eating now means that most of the time, you should make sure to have food from all food groups on your plate without measuring anything or thinking about plant-based versus animal-based proteins or simple versus complex. I mean, who wants to do that? Who does that? I mean, I just want to eat. So it also means that you get to enjoy a bit of everything including the sweets that you like, your fast foods, desserts, in moderations without the need to measure or count. So when you're talking about your food groups, you're talking about your proteins, and your proteins gives you energy. They build your body up, they repair your tissue, and they fight infection. That's your protein. Your grains, now they give you energy to do your schoolwork, energy to think right. That's what your grains do. And when you talk about grain, you're talking about wheat grain, you're talking about your oatmeal, you're talking about your cereals. When you're talking about protein, you're talking about your eggs, your fish, and stuff like that. And then you have your vegetable and your fruits. Now, I'm not a fruit person, but I try to eat fruit, but fruit is good for you. But what you need to do, instead of trying to measure, your fruit and your vegetables should all go on one side of your plate. That's how much fruit and vegetable you should have. One side of your plate should be full of fruit and vegetables. Now, water. Here we go with the water. I know some of us don't like water. We have to have something to put in our water in order for us to drink, which that's me, I do. It depends on your age, how much water you should drink. So if you're 80 pounds, you want 40 ounces of water. So we're looking at, if you're 9 to 13 years old, girls should have 7 cups of water a day. If you're a boy in 9 to 13, now y'all remember this, boys should have 8 cups of water per day. If you're 14 years old to 18 years old, girls, you should have 8 cups of water per day. Boys, if you're 14 to 18, you should have 11 cups of water per day. So it's very important that you stay hydrated and not dehydrated, okay? And here we talked about the healthy eating, Nutri-Grain balls, Special K cereals, your healthy protein, your meat, fish, eggs, cheese, nuts, or beans, vegetables, spinach, collard greens. I love collard greens. I hope y'all do too. Asparagus, broccoli. I know most of you love broccoli. Fruit, fresh, frozen, or dried, is all good for you. Healthy eating, what it does, it helps you with your growth. It helps you make better food choices. It helps you think better. It helps you be smart, be strong, and feel good. You get sick less often, and you're not so crabby when you're in school. And you do better in sports, and you are a better friend. That is what healthy eating does for you. And that is my presentation. Thank you so much. I hope you've gotten something out of this, and I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ms. Shonda. We appreciate that. On why you have to get your rest, and it helps us as kids function more better. So far we heard about mental health, why it's so important and how it affects everyone. Doesn't matter whether you're young or old. We've heard about your mind reset. Think about it, whatever you're thinking about, you'll bring about it, and you have to transform your mind. And then now our next person that we're gonna, financial literacy is so important, whether you're grown or old. You have to know everything about it. But first, we got another giveaway with Miss Lavinia. So Lavinia, you ready for the next giveaway?
I am. If we could focus in on the brain teasers, I'd like to bring it to number 32. This brain teaser number 32 is very important today in this global world for our students. So if we could, I can see part of it.
We can see it, Lavinia.
You can see it good? Okay.
We can see it real good.
All right. So, you see the word? What
Yeah.
word do you see in there?
It
I'm going
looks
to talk
like
you through this
language.
one. It does, doesn't it? And what is in it?
What is in it?
Yes. On this picture.
Oh, Michael Moore says
for one of my-
foreign language.
Oh, you just named it.
Okay.
Foreign language, guys. It is so we live in this global world. It is so important for you to know a second language, whether it be Spanish, which is one of the #1 growing, Mandarin. I know people who know Mandarin, who learned it in a school and who do business in China. So it's important to learn a foreign language. All our high schoolers, all our middle
And
schoolers.
do one more for the next one so they can be thinking about.
Oh,
the
okay.
next
So
one.
our
Answer
next
for them.
one, we can do number 34.
Number 34. And you guys can put the answer in the chat for the next.
Yes.
Yeah.
For number 34.
Mhm.
I don't know if we're gonna focus in on that. Yes, I think we are.
No, ooh, that was hard.
There it is. Oh, yeah. But you gotta really look.
You
at
gotta really think about that one. So
Hey.
you guys, that's why y'all gonna answer it on the next go round because that's a good one. Or you can put it
This
in
is a
the chat
good
and I'll
one.
see you.
That's
That's
what
what you're talking about, huh?
I know.
Take a picture of it.
Look
a
at
good
every letter,
password?
every
Yes.
number, where it's
Yes,
located,
Tiffany.
and what can you see? What word can you see in this one?
So Wi-Fi router password.
They need it.
So take a picture of it and then we're gonna answer that one on the next one because you're gonna need some time on that one.
Yeah. So study it, write it down so you can study it, and we'll come back to that one.
That's a good one, Lavinia. That's a good one.
Yes.
I like
Okay.
that.
Back to our
Okay.
next guest.
Yes, Tiffany, safe. Okay, did she do a giveaway?
I think I'm sorry, did I?
Yeah, you need a giveaway now.
Oh, okay, so you want to do another,
Do a giveaway.
okay, so this next woman of color is a Princeton trained lawyer from Chicago, and she's the author of the book Becoming Me. And there's other wonderful things about her, but I'm only going to give that little snippet because you should be able to get it from that.
They say Michelle Obama.
That's who it is.
Who is Michelle
Yeah.
Pippins?
She's the
So
guest.
Michelle Pippins. No, it was Michelle Pippins, the first one to put an answer up
Who
there.
put Michelle Obama? Yes.
She was the first one.
Michelle Pippins is our winner.
Yes, who is that? Because I need you to put your information in the chat, your address, so I can send you. Oh, the gift card is a $20 gift card,
Wow.
and it have all your eating places on it. I need to keep this, but I'm gonna send it to you. So Michelle Pippins, I'm putting this on your card, so I need your information. You can text it to me, or I message me. My number is 214-450-9900. Text me your information, Michelle Pippins, whoever that is.
All right, Michelle.
So
So our next
thank
guest.
you guys so much, and Eudora put the number in the chat box for you. So our next speaker, because like I said, financial literacy is so important, whether you're an adult or a young child. You need to know what it means to how to handle your finances. And so our next guest will be able to tell you this because he's been doing this for a long time. So it's none other than Mr. William Freeman. And Will Freeman is a native of Kansas City, Missouri, but he's a longtime resident of DFW Metroplex of over 20 years with his wife, Dr. Iris Freeman, and children Will Jr. and Dara. He is a financial coach and a mentor to thousands of families in 15 states and expanding. He has a passion for teaching financial literacy and helping families build generational wealth. We need that. So let's put our heads together and welcome Mr. Will Freeman. Thank you, Will.
Good morning, or good afternoon. I am happy to be here, glad to be here. I want to thank you for allowing me to speak to this group that you've put together today. And like Ms. Carol Barnes says, I have been helping families with their finances for quite some time now, over 27 years. And so, and we've done a great job in doing that, and we'll continue to do so. And so what I'm going to talk to you about is, like Carol said, is financial literacy. And the topic today is RE. So it's about reclaiming financial health through redefining financial literacy. And so the bottom line is we've got to reclaim our financial health in our community, simply because we have a lot of money that we're making, or if you're a youth or a young adult not making money yet, you will be at some point or time. But if you don't know all the right tools that you're going to need in order to make the right financial decisions, you won't be able to hit your financial goals. And so in the time frame that you want to hit them in. And so it's my goal to help give you some basic fundamentals so that you can actually define or even redefine, depending on where you are, or if you're a young adult or a seasoned adult, like some of us are, to hitting your goals and dream by retirement time. So when we're talking about financial health, there's really 5 stages of financial health. There's financial literacy, which is what I'm going to touch on today. The other 4, we don't have time to deal with today, but the other 4 are financial capability, financial security, financial independence, and financial freedom. And a lot of times people think financial security, independence, and freedom are synonymous, or they're the same thing, and they're not. But that's the topic for a different day. So let's talk about financial literacy today, okay? So, like some of the other speakers have already said, you actually have to start with the end in mind, okay? I believe Ms. Banks actually talked about having a clear and concise mental picture, having clarity. Well, to begin with the end in mind is having the right game plan. It means to start with a clear understanding of what your destination is. It means to know where you're going so that you are better, so that you better understand where you are now, and so that the steps that you take are always in the right direction. That's what Stephen Covey said. He's a very well-known international author, like Ms. Barnes is on pace to becoming, right? And so it's very important to have that game plan in place when you start out in your financial life. So let's talk about the facts though, because one of the reasons why we as a people don't hit our financial goals is because we don't know all the facts. A lot of the facts that we hear about and are told or earshot of aren't the complete picture. So let's talk about a couple of fun facts, okay? So what I want to do is a quick exercise with you. I'm going to do 2 of them. So the first one is, let's talk about a penny. So if you have the option of me giving you $1 million today, and I'd like for you to put in the chat, $1 million today, or allowing me to give you a penny, but not giving it to you physically, but putting it into an account, and it doubles over 31 days. Which would you take? The penny doubling every day for 31 days, or $1 million? Put it in the chat. Which one would you take? Okay. So I can't see your responses just yet because I'm in presentation mode.
Danny said a penny. I mean, what did you say, Danny? A penny.
A penny, okay. So she's gonna take the $1 million. Oh, she said she's gonna take the penny doubling every day.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
You have somebody said $1 million, 2 people said the penny.
Okay.
I said $1 million. He wanted us to put it in the chat. You know, I'm trying to calculate that penny. I'm trying to calculate that penny right now.
No calculations.
Oh,
right?
Calculations. Okay. Oh, so just choose.
Yeah,
Okay.
just choose. Penny today in an account doubles every day for 31 days, or you take the hard $1 million today. $1 million is $1 million now, right? So let's take a look at it. What happens when you let that penny double every day in that account for 31 days? See, what I'm getting ready to share with you now is an understanding of our people perish for lack of knowledge, okay? So when it doubles the one day, you got 2 cents. Now that's not a whole lot to write home to, right? Write home about. But at the end of the week, you got 4 cents, 8 cents, you got 64 cents at the end of the week. So now, would you want to take that penny doubling every day? Or do you want that $1 million? I'm giving you one more shot. You can take that penny and what it's going to double to in 31 days, or you can take the $1 million. So if you want to change your answer, change your answer. Okay. All right. So now let's take a look at the second week. You got $81.92. See, a lot of people don't have a full understanding of money and doubling and compound interest. So most people would have taken that 64 cents and kind of doubled it a couple of times and said, well, maybe just a couple of dollars. But you can see from that first week, it went from 64 cents to $81, almost $82. That's a big deal, okay? So let's take a look at what happens the third week. It goes to $10,485, okay? Just by doubling the money every day. Let's take a look at the last week, the last full week. That 10,000 now becomes $1.3 million. So if you decided to take the $1 million, you've already sold yourself short. Because we as a people, unfortunately, always think about now versus thinking about what the potential can be in the future. Okay? Because we work so hard for what we strive for and what we have achieved, we want to just protect what we have now instead of thinking about the possibilities in the future. But we're not finished. See, this has 31 days in this month, not 28. So we've got 3 more days. You're talking about $10.7 million. If you had the capacity to double that penny from the first day to the second day, and whatever you have the next day, double it again and again and again. In 31 days, you would have $10.7 million. That is phenomenal, okay? Now, obviously, most people don't have that kind of money to put into an investment or a savings vehicle to see it do that, unless you're just really, really wealthy. But this is a concept of understanding the importance of investing your money over time. It's very, very important. And you can't afford to let your money sit somewhere where it's not getting very much interest. Compound interest is where it's at, not simple interest, compound interest, okay? So to put it in a better example, okay, to bring it home and bring it down to a more fundamental perspective, I'm going to teach you something that's called the Rule of 72. Now, this is something that the banks know exists, okay? And so this is for the more mature people out there. This is also for the younger people, because you younger folks, if you get this now, no one will ever be able to mess with your finances and your financial future ever again, okay? Never, ever, okay? So here's how it works. It's called the Rule of 72, sometimes called the banker's rule, because the banking system is, this is how they make their money, with us not knowing this. Albert Einstein figured it out. So I'm not going to go through the whole example of what I usually do, but here's how it works. It's compound interest. And how it works is, if you divide the interest rate that you're getting on your money, your average annual interest rate, into 72, it's going to tell you how many years it's going to take for your money to double at that interest rate, right? So if you really know anything about interest rates at the bank, or if you don't know about interest rates at the bank or credit union, you can look at the posted rates, and most of them are going to be less than 1%. But let's say your bank is giving you 1%. So if you've got $1 today, and you're getting 1% rate of return on your money at the bank or credit union, divide that 1% into 72, the answer is 72. So that means in 72 years, that $1 turns into $2. In 72 years. So that tells me that banks and credit unions are really not in business to help me with my money, right? They have their place, but if you're putting your money in there for long-term savings and investments, that's not the place for it. Let me prove it to you, okay? So let's say that you've got a $10,000 lump sum and you can invest it, and you can take it and put it anywhere. But let's say you were never taught how to invest your money. So you run down to the local bank or credit union, and let's say you put it in a bank or credit union account, and let's say hypothetically you get a 3% rate of return on your money. So if you divide that interest rate 3% into 72, your money is going to double every 24 years. So let's say you just finished college and you're 21 years of age, and let's say it's a graduation gift. $10,000 lump sum. What do you do with it? Well, if no one's ever taught you about money and investing it, you're going to do one of two things. 20-year-old with $10,000, you're going to have a good time, right? You're going to go party, you're going to, you know, buy some things, you may even take a trip or two, and that money going to be gone in 2 months, right? But if you have any intelligence, right, or any desire to be wealthy, you're going to figure out what to do with it. But if no one's ever taught you what to do with it, you're going to do what most people do, and that's put it in the bank or credit union. At 3%, money's going to double every 24 years. And so if you start at 21, it doubles in 24 years to 20,000, doubles again to 40,000, is 48 years later. Well, now you're 69 years of age with only $40,000 in your investment or savings account. You can't retire off of that. Well, let's say, and most people use these accounts in the form of CDs, money market accounts, okay, and savings bonds. This is not for wealth building. It's for emergency funds only and paying your monthly bills. Let's say you go to an insurance company and get, let's say, an annuity or a cash value life insurance product or index universal life at 6%. 6 into 72 is 12 times. So now the money doubles every 12 years. But just by doubling that interest rate once, it's not double the money, it's 4 times the money by doubling the interest rate once. Well, that's not enough to retire off of either. Well, if you get a 12% rate of return, and most people say, well, Will, where do you get a 12% rate of return? Well, it's definitely not with the bank, credit union. It's not with an insurance company. It's with an investment firm, okay? In the form of what's called a mutual fund. A mutual fund. That's an investment. It's like a basket of fruit, but it's really a basket of stocks with a bunch of companies in it. And so by investing in that mutual fund, you can get an average rate of return of 12%, sometimes higher, sometimes lower, but on average over your lifespan, you can get 12% and higher. And you can grow your money to $2.5 million on a one-time investment of $10,000. Well, guys, we're here to help you understand financial health is about doing the right thing so that you don't have to stress over not having what you want, need, or desire when you want and need it. But you've got to know the right information in order to make the right decisions, okay, early on in life. And even if it's later on in life, you still have a shot to accumulate more money now by making a shift, okay, in your mindset on investing for the future. So you want to stick to the logic and history, okay? Don't let your emotions cloud your thoughts. Don't do that. See, on Wall Street, they tell you all these things in social media where the market is losing money and people want to jump off of a ledge, take all their money out and run for the hills. That's not the thing to do. And the only reason why they do that and are fearful is simply because they don't have a licensed professional financial coach or advisor like myself. See, clients need consistent, calm, sound advice, and that's what we do. We help you understand why things are going the way that they are and what your needs are, what you need to do in order to accomplish your needs, especially when your emotions are running high. My job is to help you manage your emotions as well as manage your investments, okay? So the rewards of long-term investing, not going to go over that, but you can see here that there are some things that have, for the last 50 plus years, 10.4% or 19.7%. And there's just 76% of the time in the last 50 to 70 years, the market has been up 76% of the time, averaging almost 20% rate of return. So that's a big deal, okay? So let me go ahead and get through this because of time. Learning from the lessons of time. And this is just a chart that just shows that bottom line is the stock market is going to always go up. There's going to be times where it's going to go down, but it's always going to go up as well. You just got to ride the wave, okay? So here's some other facts dealing with life insurance. See, life insurance is a vital key to building wealth. 44% of households encounter significant financial difficulties within half a year after the loss of one of the breadwinners of a loved one. It's important to have both insurance on the job and personal life insurance off the job, even if you don't have children or even if you don't have a mortgage and a spouse yet. You still need personal life insurance. Most people need 8 to 12 times their annual income for proper protection. And unfortunately, most of our families don't have enough. And we learned that during this COVID period, okay? So in sticking to the logic and history, it's very important that you understand that you need to build a house of financial security. So to build it the right way, you build it from the ground up. You start with proper life insurance, solid foundation, then budgeting, emergency funds, making sure you have a will in place, accelerating your debt so that you can free up your money so that you can have more money to invest and get financially independent. College savings for your children or grandchildren when you start having those, and other goals and dreams. But bottom line is, to get where you want to be, you need to know where you are. You need a financial roadmap. Just like if you were traveling from here to California and never done it before, and you're driving. Your solution is you need a personalized financial needs analysis, complimentary, so you don't have to financially pay for it. It's customized, tailored to what your needs are, and it's confidential. I won't share your personal situation with your family and friends that you're referring to. So this financial needs analysis, or FNA, it takes a snapshot of where you currently are in your financial situation and helps you make better financial choices about your money and your future. This FNA will provide you with personalized financial independence number, which we call a FIN number. That's the number that you need to hit for your financial independence goals to make sure that you never have to want for money ever again, okay? So in closing, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, okay? Napoleon Hill. But you first have to conceive. See, they talked about making sure you have that clarity, okay? And daily affirmations. When you do those things and you have the right things in place and you're conceiving the right thoughts, positive mental mindset, you can achieve anything in life. So if you desire to have additional information, and there's a lot more information that we have available to give, please, by all means, give us a call or a text so that we can schedule a one-on-one follow-up with you and your family. But if you are technologically sound, go ahead and take a picture of my QR code, and there's an additional video attached to that. So I'll leave that up for just a moment, allowing you to take a picture of that real quick. That's all I have, and hope you have a great rest of your day.
Wow, thank you, Will. And I hope you guys got something out of that because that was
Yes.
really powerful. All our speakers have been so powerful and time is rolling right along and we are moving right along. So Lavinia, we're gonna go to Stuart next and we're gonna come back to you for the end. And so
Okay.
that we can give away our last few gifts. So next we're gonna have Michael Stewart Barnes. And Michael Stewart has been a 10-year sales veteran, entrepreneur, a motivator, a youth worker, creator of the Manipulated podcast. And he's going to talk to you guys about business success. Well, welcome, Mr. Stewart.
Thank you, everyone, for having me. Really been enjoying this presentation, having everyone on, a lot of good information. I'm really excited. And what I like most is that ultimately all of this information ties together. So a little bit about myself. I've been in the security sales industry for 10 plus years, done a lot of business with individuals as well as corporations here in Texas and throughout the country. I'm an entrepreneur, started and closed businesses, learned a lot, and recently started a podcast at the beginning of this year. So one thing that I like about that we talked about today is, of course, mindset, mental health, and of course, financial health. And I have experienced both sides of all four of those concepts. So in talking about building success in a business, it also directly ties into or correlates with building success in life. And for the kids on the call, I'm extremely excited for you all because you kind of have a clean slate, regardless of how old you are or where you think you are or what's going on. Me being able to look back on where I was in elementary school, middle school, high school, now at that time, I felt like, man, I have to get all the answers right. I have to be perfect. I don't have any room for error, but you do. Life is not easy. Life is trial and error. So the first thing I want you guys to understand is that wherever you are right now, you're nowhere near the end. And what I like to do when I'm talking to young people or people in general, is I like to be transparent. So in my life, I've seen the ups and downs in all areas. So I've dealt with mental health as a kid. I didn't talk about it or understand it until I got grown. I've dealt with being broke, not having any money, being torn up financially. My health has always been kind of had a question mark by it, never, just had extremely healthy habits. I was never the green juice drinker, grew up with asthma. And lastly, mindset. I had I won't say I had a terrible mindset, but I didn't realize how important mindset was. So I was kind of winging life, especially when I became an adult. So I started my first business at 19, and simultaneously I started wrecking my credit at 19 because I did not have all of the information. And that's no necessarily a shot to my upbringing or anything like that. It's just culturally, these things generally didn't come up. And me being my age, I saw the rapid transition of technology from beepers all the way up to the smartphones and all the information that we have today. So the information just wasn't available. So what I like to do is kind of tell kids about where I was when I was in school or in class, on basketball teams and things like that. I felt like if I messed up that one time, life was over. And so I've learned over time that nothing is over until you decide to quit. As long as you keep getting up and you keep pushing forward, then you can always succeed, or you can always get back on track or find your way. And for you young people, that could be a test, that could be you not making the team, that could be you getting in trouble at home. Understand that missing the mark on a grade, maybe you were shooting for an A and ended up with something lower, C, D, F, whatever it is. You're always going to have another chance if you decide to take that chance. You may not be the most popular person in school, or you may be looking at someone else and think that they're better off. You may be dealing with bullies. Understand that dealing with those issues or those problems right now is not locked in. It's not how the rest of your life is going to be forever. It's just another challenge that you have to overcome. And challenges are going to always be there. It may be that you went out for a sports team or band or whatever, and you didn't make it that first time. Like I heard on the call earlier, Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players ever, if not the greatest, he didn't make his high school team. He was cut. But what he did was he took that negative event and he poured it into work. He poured it into positivity. He poured it into changing his mindset. And that's why he was able to achieve everything that he was able to achieve. Everything takes work. So you're not going to wake up tomorrow and decide that you're going to be the best in anything and it's just going to happen. Like we talked about with finance, you're not going to be that millionaire tomorrow, but those small steps, those building blocks, those good habits will help you to meet those goals. So in staying with the theme for the power of understand that in building a life and building a business and building success, the first thing that you're going to have to do is research or decide on what it is that you want out of life. And in building success, success comes in many different forms. You have to be successful with your mental health. You have to be successful with your physical health. You have to be successful with your mindset. You have to be successful with your financial health. All of these things tie up to building a good life for yourself. And while we're talking about, finance and things like that, as adults on the call, these things all start now. These habits are being built, or they must be built now. So wherever you are, it could be not, taking forever to study for a test. If you're in high school, not procrastinating, giving your best at every grade level. So even if you're in elementary school and you're just coloring, make sure you try to color the best picture you can. If you're in middle school and it's a spelling test, make sure that you try to spell those words as best as possible. Take time to practice. If you're in high school and you're coming up on standardized tests, tax tests, whatever they're calling it now, don't wait till the last minute to start studying and then put yourself in a tough position. Even with college, if your ambitions are to go to college and you're in 9th grade, start now. Start working on those essays now. Start researching those colleges now. Start researching what it is that you want to be in life. That's what I had to do. I had to sit back and decide what I wanted to do. Now, like I said, a lot of the things that I dealt with in life, just being transparent, put me in a tough position. So not only did I have to learn how to dig myself out of the hole mentally, I had to also decide what I wanted the next half of my life to look like. And you have to do the same thing. If you fail a test, identify where it is that you went wrong. That's part of the research. Sometimes it's researching where I messed up. Sometimes it's researching on trying something new. Another word is read. There's a lot of information out in the world, online, on social media, and you're going to have to read it. We didn't have smartphones when I was you guys' age, but to this day, I still read books. A lot of information that you're going to need in life or things that you're going to do, is that information is going to be inside of a book. So read. Also, in sticking with building a successful life or building a successful business, you have to be resilient. Now, what does resilient mean? It means to withstand. It means to recover from difficulty. It means to bounce back, to put it simply. Just because you fall off does not mean that you cannot get back up. The first time somebody decided to ride a horse, they didn't just jump on it and go. The first time somebody shot a basketball, they didn't go in and make every shot. It comes from being resilient and also maintaining a positive mindset. When you're in school, you're going to have to decide on what kind of crowd you want to be around, what kind of atmosphere you want to create for yourself. How do you want to portray yourselves to your teachers, to your parents, to your school officials? What do you want to put out in the world? You have to respect yourself. Respect yourself and understand that you have a brand. Just like you see Nike, just like you see Apple, just like you see Adidas, those are all brands that we wear. And those brands are focused on making sure that they look good or deliver a good product. And you are the product of your life. So respect yourself, respect the people around you, respect your parents, respect your peers, respect your teachers. And this is why I've been able to be in sales for so long and have some success, because I respect myself. One, I respect my bosses, I respect my parents, I respect my customers. If you don't have respect, then people are not going to work with you. And that's the only way to build a life, is to work with other people. You're going to have to network, but if you have no respect for yourself or others, nobody's going to want to deal with you. You're going to really put yourself in a tough position. The biggest thing is be responsible. We can't play the blame game. If like I said before, if you procrastinate, if you take a test and you fail, sometimes it's a thing of you just didn't have the information, but you have to assess your own self, assess why you didn't hit the mark, and take responsibility. As you grow up in life, there's going to be some setbacks. That's just a part of it. You have to take responsibility of the things that didn't go so well. I've had to do that. In the last 15 years, I've made a multitude of mistakes, and a multitude means a lot. But I had to sit back and say, okay, what part did I have in building this life or making this bed? Okay. And to make a simple example, if you wake up in the morning and you don't make your bed and you come back home to a messed up bed, it's because you did not take the time to make that bed. It's your responsibility. You didn't clean your room. You didn't take care of your chores. The mistakes that I had in life, there were other people involved. There were some people that didn't do what I wanted them to do, but ultimately I had to take responsibility of my actions. I had to take responsibility of my part in it. Also, relax. Anytime you're trying to go after a goal, whether it's, you want to be a dentist, you want to be a doctor, you want to make 100 on the test, you want to make the basketball team, whatever it is, it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard on you mentally at times. But anything that's hard, most of the time, is worth having. So just relax. Don't get caught up in the social media deal of comparing yourself to others. This person has more than me. This person is better than me. Nobody is better than you. We're all the same. We're all equal. We're all trying. But the difference that sets people apart is who is going to work hard and stick to their goal. Once again, be resilient. If you make a mistake, if you fail a test, if you don't make the team, sometimes the plan that you put forth doesn't work. So you have to restart. There's nothing wrong with that. When we were kids and we played video games, I don't know what the hottest game is right now, but when we felt like it was getting too bad and we were losing too bad, we just turned it off. We restarted. And we restarted it because we had to come up with another plan to beat whatever level that we were on. And that's okay. You may decide now that you want to be a dentist. You may, a few years from now, you decide you want to paint. You want to be an artist. You may want to be a radio host. Whatever it is, you can always restart. You can always restart. But the same principles apply. Another good thing when you're trying to build a business or build a life or be successful at school, or when you guys grow up and get a job, you have to maintain momentum. And what that means is you have to keep going. You have to always be working. Life is about being productive. And if you just kind of sit back and let life go by, then you're going to miss a lot of opportunities. So always make sure that you're being productive and that you're maintaining momentum in your lives. And I have 2 minutes left. And so the last thing that I want to really hit on is be real. this age that we're in now with social media, with everyone comparing themselves, everyone's putting their best foot forward. And a lot of times what happens is we get influenced by outside sources, and then we don't realize, or we don't figure out who it is that we are as people. So whatever it is that you're interested in, do that. You don't have to copy the next person. You don't have to be the next LeBron James. You don't have to be the next Serena Williams. You don't have to be the next Michelle Obama. Be the first you and be the best version of you. And that's going to be the first step of building a business, building a life. Find out what's important to you. Find out what you're passionate about, and then write those goals down. Come back to them if you lose your way. Ask for help. Request help. It may be from a mentor, it may be from your parents, it may be just praying to God. But always ask for help. And understand that failure is not final. If you mess up, if you miss the mark, just start over. Keep pushing, keep going. And understand that even when you meet those goals, there's still going to be work to be done. Just because you met it does not mean that it's over. Key takeaway, it's easy to get a lot of things, but it's even harder to keep it. That's in mental health, that's in health, that's in finance, and that's in your mindset. You can decide that you want to be great, but you're going to have to keep reminding yourself, and you're going to have to keep working. I believe that is my time. If I need to keep going, let me know. But my name is Michael Barnes, security rep, sales rep, ADT. I've been in business or starting businesses up and down, starting to fail since 19. I'm a youth worker, motivator. I'm very passionate about personal development, but I appreciate you guys for having me.
Well, thank you, sir.
Yes, yes. All
Yeah,
right.
The Danzel clap.
Thank you guys so much. Yes, Eudora, it was. She said she loved it. It was so much information. Yes, you guys all the way from Dr. Iris Freeman with the mental health. She kicked it off, starting off right. Woo! Then we went on up the ladder with Denise Banks on Mind Reset. Woo! Then we didn't stop there. We went on up to the next level. Then we went to Miss Shonda Malone Johnson with the Health is Your Wealth. Didn't stop there. Woo! We went on up to to Will Freeman with the financial literacy, and then we didn't stop there till we got to the top. And we finished it off with Michael Barnes talking about business success. And now we got to tap it off with our famous rhythm woman, or whatever you want to call her over there. She's gonna top it off at the end and bring it all together with that, and then close it out.
Yes, this was fantastic. Thank you to all the speakers with that valuable information.
So what's the answer? Did anybody get the answer to her last?
Number 34. Number 34, if you want to bring it back up.
Safety in numbers, Sade said.
Sade is correct.
Woo, okay.
Sade is correct. We definitely need safety in numbers. The world today.
Where did you get that from?
I'm sorry?
Where did you get that from?
Where did I get this from? Well,
no, where did you get that answer from?
Safety in numbers.
Okay, look at that. There's spell safety.
I see it. That is so.
SAFETY.
Got
it. So Sade, you're gonna win this LED light, LED ring light.
What does that even mean?
Oh, okay. Yes. For your
So that's for Sade.
Very good. Yes.
Okay. Next, now you gotta do a giveaway.
Yes. Our next woman that I'm going to highlight was an American politician who in 1968 became the first Black woman to be elected into the United States Congress. I'm not going to tell you the state because you'll know right away, but I'm just going to give you those few little nibbits. If anyone knows who that is. I'm sorry? Not Maxine. No, she's from the other side of the country. We're talking about East Coast.
Shirley Chisholm.
Shirley Chisholm. Shirley Chisholm is correct. Yes. Shirley Chisholm is correct.
Y'all be getting these answers, man. So Destiny, what you win is this $25 gift card. And it has Olive Garden, Cheddar's, Longhorn, Yard House, the Bahama
Ooh.
Breeze.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for winning. And so
I can give you another, we can either do another,
just the one for the one that participated the most.
Yeah.
This one.
okay,
Yeah, we're gonna do the final for the participation award.
okay. So did you want me to give them another clue or another
She-
brain teaser? Which one would you
Oh,
rather?
no, we counted up in the chats and Destiny
Okay,
participated.
Hmm, isn't it?
Yes, well.
I don't know now.
uh-oh.
Because I couldn't see it. I couldn't
Oh.
see it.
Okay, well, do a giveaway.
Yeah. I'll find
Okay,
a way.
okay, so let me see. I want to do one that's just relevant to things that are going on today. And I thought safety in numbers was good because of just the violence in our country. So let me look at my answers here and see which one I want to do next. How about 28?
28.
Let's do 28.
Yeah, something easy and simple because it's time to go.
Yes. This is, no, it's not that difficult.
I mean,
But
not simple, but you know what I'm saying.
yeah, and I don't think any of them were really simple.
I don't either.
Well, that's why you have to stretch that brain.
Big, ignore, ignore.
To be
So
successful.
the first person get this last gift card.
Yes, big,
Too
big.
big to ignore. Wait, Tiffany was up there.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But I think Tiffany was.
So
first,
28, you
but
said
she
it's
clicked
too
on
big.
real fast.
Too big to ignore is exactly correct. Yes.
Yeah, I think it was Tiffany.
There are many social issues that are too big to ignore.
Tiffany, you're gonna have to text me your information. Tiffany, you win a $25 gift card.
Wow.
You should have all my information.
You
Oh,
moved on me. I don't have it.
Okay.
so yes, all these, the bits and information that you receive today are too big to ignore. You have to really, listen and take heed. I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to be successful in this global world, take heed.
But
All
thank
right.
you, Lavinia, you never disappoint with all these
Well, all
quiz
right.
questions.
Well,
So thank you
laughing at-
so much.
I
Yeah,
did want to
thank
say
you.
that I'm back in the work field too. So I am doing speech therapy part-time now again after practicing for so long and retiring, but I'm glad of that. Always stay
We
relevant.
always appreciate you all the time.
Yes,
um,
yes.
We want to thank all you guys and our guests for speaking and taking time out to join us and also take our attendance. Thank you guys for participating in the questions and, showing some love to our guest speakers.
Yes.
We have some more events coming up. Just follow tomorrowspurpose.org. Go on our website, tomorrowspurpose.org. We have some more events coming up. You don't want to miss these other events coming up. They are really good for our youth. And so we're looking forward to you guys joining us.
And also, we want to give a great shout out to our producer. This guy behind the scenes that's making everything come together.
Yes.
So he's been with us, for the last since COVID. And
Wow.
He's just been a blessing to us, man. And when we call on him, he never fails to make us look great. And so I want to just give him a love deposit, because he's been at our side ever since we've been doing this in-house. And so just want to thank him for what he did. And Tomorrow's Purpose, our organization, we have a lot of things. Coming up, it's going to be our reflection of our petals again. It's going to be on July
22nd.
July 22nd this time.
But in between that, we have some summer camps
Yeah,
coming up
summer
as
camps
well.
coming
So
up,
we'll
right.
keep you guys informed. And
Yeah.
then
And we got some
after that,
release of some books. We got
Yeah.
a book coming out with one of our young authors again.
yes.
And we're really excited about that.
Mhm.
So hey, just follow us.
Follow us.
And what we're doing, we'll keep you abreast of what our programs that are coming up.
Yes.
And we just thank you all for making this a success.
Yes.
And we're going to be sharing it with people in every aspect of mental health, financial, building business, everybody. Everybody was great.
So just watch out on our site, www.tomorrowspurpose.org, and you'll see other events that's going to be coming up. But I really would like you guys to join the next one, which is Reflection of Our Petals. It's going to be held at the Eastville Dallas College campus. And from 12 to 2, July the 22nd. But I'll keep putting information out there, let you guys know, because in between that time we have summer camp. So I'll keep you posted. Thank you guys so much, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And we love you, and we couldn't have done it without you. This was so awesome. Thank y'all for that information. Appreciate you. Have a good day. Goodbye.
Bye.
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 Hello. It went well though.
When in the midst of sorrow, you can't see up when looking down.